Hello everybody, if you're new here, I'm your friendly neighborhood rookie pilot. If you're not new here, then you might know what's going on behind me. In the previous video, I dropped a couple hints to see if anybody could guess what the new suspension for the Mustang was going to be, and I was surprised that there was so many people that got the right answer. And what is the right answer? We are going with a Mustang 2 front suspension for this car. This is a full kit. We finally got all the boxes in the mail. I lied, it was not 17 of them. I think it's like 7, but it was like 17 items. So let's get into the meat and potatoes of this video. While we're unboxing, we're also going to be talking about some of the benefits that the Mustang 2 will give to our beloved number 3 over there. We're going to take a look at each box and see what comes inside and take a look at the quality of all these parts. This is supposed to be a complete hub-to-hub kit, so that means from rotor face to rotor face. A little bit on the Mustang 2 suspension. A Mustang 2 suspension does not necessarily mean it came off of a Mustang. There's a whole ton of kits and a whole ton of companies that make them. I personally went with a Speedway Motors one just because it had most of what I needed at a decent price. I'm no way or in any form sponsored by Speedway. I wish, but I'm not. So this kit is going to come with almost everything that we need to make this Mustang handle like it's on rails. I myself, I'm personally excited to open all of this because I've never purchased a kit like this before. I've never even purchased coilovers before, so this is all a first for me. That's enough talking though, let's dive into this. Alright, starting off with this guy. I'm not too sure what it is. I'm thinking it's the main cross member, but let's find out. Yeah! Oh my God. Yes, indeed, it looks like this is going to be our main cross member. Please read instructions completely before starting your installation. Alright, it's a beefy boy. This is a very solid piece, not much to it. Yeah, so far so good. So everything that is on this table right now is basically the heart of the Mustang 2 setup. Okay, so looking a little bit deeper into the contents of this first box, we have our main cross member right here. It is some pretty beefy steel. Decent welds. You can see right here our mounts for our rack and pinion. That's coming up next. These are the hats for the upper A-arms. And as you can see, these hats have a slight angle to them, and that's for the anti-dive. You can see you have plenty of adjustability for that upper A-arm, which we're gonna get to soon. So these guys are gonna go kind of something like this. Upper control arms are going to bolt onto there. And all these plates right here are to box the frame in order for us to weld this all together. All right, looking at the next box. More boxes. We'll give them a plus on the packaging. Everything seems to be a box in a box with some protection in between. I think spindles. All right. Well, I mean, they look like spindles. Not much to them. So these spindles are gonna be stock height spindles. They do offer a drop, I think like a 2-inch drop spindle. The spindles feel like good quality, I would say. Everything looks pretty good. They even have Speedway stamped in the back. Okay, time for the other box. I'm hoping we get to the coilovers soon. I'm kind of excited for those. Yeah! Yeah! Wow. Shiny. Yeah. Okay, so looking a little bit into this box, we have QA1 single adjustable coilovers. These QA1 coilovers are made in the USA. That matters to you. And for the spring, we went with a 375-pound spring rate. It also comes with the thrust washers, I believe they're called. In terms of performance suspension goes, coilovers tends to be one of the most popular options. So that is what we chose for this kit. There's a couple options if you were to go with a kit like this. You could go with a bag setup or a shock through coil setup or the coilover option, which is what we went with here. Box number 3, box number 4, box number 4. Oh yeah, Jesus! I didn't think they were gonna be this thick. These things are beefy. These are the lower control arms. I'm assuming this box is the upper control arms. So these are gonna be the upper control arms for our Mustang 2 setup. These look pretty well built. Welds look pretty decent. There is some like teeth type texture on this, I'm assuming, so it'll bite into the upper hats. I have seen in a couple of reviews that a lot of kids do have issues with the ball joints going bad pretty soon, so I mean, only time will tell. And as far as the lowers go, they are equally beefy. This tab, I believe, gets welded on or deleted depending on your application, but damn, this is gonna be a major upgrade to those stock control arms. You could also opt for this kit to be used with your stock control arms. I mean, why not go the extra little bit? I'm sure it'll perform that much better. Hopefully these perform as good as they look. So this, if it is what I think it is, it's gonna be a key part in making the Mustang handle the way we want it to. This packaging has holes in it, so that's already not too good. This means things were poking through. Yeah! So this right here is the secret sauce that's gonna make number 3 handle the way we want it to. It's a rack and pinion. This is what you're gonna find on most modern style cars. This is gonna give us a modern steering feel. The steering box on these classic cars were not so great. It takes you 365 turns to get around a corner. So a simple explanation on how that works is when you turn your steering wheel, that rotation gets translated all the way to the steering box, which therefore turns your wheels. But these steering boxes tend to have a whole lot of play and a whole lot of slop, as I'll show you now. So just an example of how bad these steering boxes are, or at least this one. I'm turning the wheel almost half, maybe quarter turn, and nothing is happening down below. So that is one of the issues that the rack and pinion will definitely fix, which in turn will give us better handling, better road feel, and a more quick turn-in response. There's a couple options when ordering a Mustang 2 kit. You could go for a power steering option or a manual steering option. We opted to go with the manual steering just because I don't want to deal with any lines for the power steering, but you do as you choose. It's pretty light build quality. I would say it's average, normal. It's basically a generic rack and pinion. That is one of the beauties of this kit, is that all of these components just fix so many issues that these old cars had. Sloppy steering, sloppy handling, sloppy everything. Just like the coilovers, this is one of the upgrades I am most excited for, because this is the first Mustang that we build that's gonna be able to handle the way we want it to. We're gonna be able to throw it around and just have fun with it. Moving on to box number 6 or 7. I don't know anymore. Let's see what we got in here. Some brake rotors. Heavy. Yeek. So these are the rotors that came in the kit. They are 11-inch rotors. I wouldn't consider them performance rotors, but obviously you can upgrade to a Willwood or some other type of performance brake kits. But this is just what they offered, so this is what we're gonna go with. They are vented and they do have the races installed for the bearings. I would say it's a pretty solid rotor. Last but not least, yeah. Brake calipers, bearings. So this last box looks like it is all the small parts and accessories to everything else that we opened so far. So starting on the left, we have our brake calipers. Like I said before, these aren't much performance brakes. but they will stop the car, so that's pretty cool. And then we have our corresponding brake pads, as well as the caliper mounting bracket right here and the hardware. We have our brake hoses, these 2 fat bolts that I have no idea where they go, our spring coil cushions. We also have our end links that are gonna go on the manual rack and pinion. And this bag has all the mounting hardware for the rack and pinion. So now that we've seen all the parts to this kit, what is it going to do for us? 1, it's gonna improve the suspension geometry of number 3. 2, it's gonna give us modern handling with that rack and pinion. No more sloppy steering, no more turning 1,000 times. It's gonna be super tight steering. We are now getting disc brakes up front, which it already had by the previous owner. So that new kit that he installed, I'm gonna have to remove it anyway, because it's not gonna work with the new spindles we got. Coilovers, coilovers, coilovers. The coilovers are gonna give us adjustability to fine tune the Mustang to how we want it to drive. So yeah, better handling, better steering, better brakes. What more could you want? One huge benefit for this kit is that because we're gonna have to cut the shock towers, that gives us a lot of options as far as engine choice. It's gonna give us a whole lot of room for people that wanna go big block or a Coyote. We're just going with the simple 302, but that opens options for the future. And we're doing all these upgrades to the front end, and what are we doing to the rear? Well, I don't know yet. Possibility of a 4-link maybe in the future. This kit is probably as good as it gets in terms of upgrading suspension and steering. It's just a good all-together package. In the previous video I stated that the first person to guess what suspension I was gonna go with on number 3, I was gonna send him out a Rookie Pilot sweatshirt, but I had so many people guess the right answer, so I'm thinking of sending out a couple more. The first person to guess it was Mustang Jones, so reach out to me, I'll send you a free Rookie Pilot sweatshirt. So because there was so many people that guessed it right, I'm not only gonna give away 1 to Mr. Jones, but I'm gonna give away 4 more. If you want one of those 4 sweatshirts, comment down below your favorite part of this kit, as well as your size, and then we'll work it out and we'll send one your way. So yeah, this kit is going to address many of the lacking qualities that came from the factory on number 3. I'm so excited to slap on all these parts and see how much of a difference it actually makes. Again, this was not a sponsored video. I bought this all with my own hard-earned cash. If you're here for information on the Mustang 2 kit, feel free to comment or reach out to me. I went through a whole lot of research to choose this specific kit. So if you have any questions, just let me know. But if you're here to watch me turn number 3 into a road-capable Mustang, then I appreciate you and thank you for watching, and I will see you guys on the next video.